had to say about your Kansas City Chiefs? Well, here's his expectations of the Chiefs.
I would not expect them in the Super Bowl next year. I don't expect them in the AFC Championship game next year. I'm going to be betting that they do not win the AFC West next year. Right now, it sounds crazy because of how dominant they've been. But at some point, the bottom's going to fall out on these guys.
So which one was that Joe Fortenbaugh right there?
That was Joe
That's
Fortenbaugh.
No. That's no way that's Joe from Joe and Q. That was him.
Yeah.
Like the betting, the gambling expert,
One of the
ESPN
smartest
bet.
people that has ever graced these airwaves.
The hell is... Man, I'm tripping. I heard there's a high school out here named St. Aloysius. They are the Chiefs. And he must be assuming that the Chiefs are not going to be that good next year. There's no way he's talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's talking about the NFL's very own Kansas City Chiefs.
I know Cooper Flagg got hurt today. Am I missing something on Patrick Mahomes? Let's see. Mahomes. Just a restructure. That's it. Just a contract restructure. So no news on Mahomes.
He's healthy.
Oh, let's check about Andy Reid right quick. Andy Reid.
He's coming back. I think they talked about it during Super Bowl week.
Yeah, he's got a big smile on his face. In fact, they're a little motivated coming off of a Super Bowl loss. So where the hell is this coming from? What evidence since Patrick Mahomes has laid his foot into a cleat out at Arrowhead Stadium would tell you that the Chiefs would not win the division? His first year starting, 50 touchdowns and MVP at AFC Championship appearance. He's never, ever ended a season outside of the overtime of the AFC title game. Yet not only is this guy not predicting them to make it back to the Mahomes Invitational, he's also saying they won't win the division that they've won, 7, 8 straight years now? I just don't. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're just saying things now. It's
this
early.
is March 13th football talk. That's what that
just saying things. He's just like, oh, do I have to have a take right now on the Chiefs? I'll say it. I don't have to bet it yet, so I'll just say it, and I'll get some head waves, and maybe theoretically speaking, it'll bring me up. So congratulations, Joe Fortenbaugh. You made it.
Next stop.
We're going to go to Ponte Vedra, Florida.
Can I just hit him up and bet him personally on that? We don't have to go through a sports book. Joe Fortenbaugh, you come holla at me. We'll make that bet together, and I'll give you whatever odds you want because it ain't happening. Sorry.
I think you should do that.
Yeah, no, for real. We will. I know some people that know his people.
Ponte Vedra, Florida. I'm going to be there this weekend. That is the home of TPC Sawgrass. That is the home of the Players' Championship that is underway today. I was watching it all morning, but the fireworks began on the iconic Island Green yesterday. As is tradition, each Pro Tour player's caddy gets a tee off on 17 during the practice rounds. Colin Morikawa's caddy, Colin Morikawa, who was one stroke from winning last week's Arnold Palmer Invitational. It took a miracle chip in on 16 for him to lose that tournament. Well, his caddy had a hole-in-one yesterday during their practice round on the 17th Island Green.
See, but is that a good thing?
For that pairing, you think that dynamic is harmed because obviously Colin Morikawa is not going to do better than his caddy did on the very same green?
No, well, what I mean by that is like golfers are sometimes superstitious. Like Mark Calcavecchia, who I had that great one-on-one with out at Lost Lake, he told me in his practice rounds or even especially in pro-ams, he would purposely miss certain putts or kind of throw away certain holes so he doesn't shoot too well because he doesn't want to waste it in the rounds that don't count. So is it kind of an omen? Is it a bad thing that your caddy is out here hole-in-one on 17? Which obviously is a good thing, but I'm just saying, it's
a very fragile relationship that deals with egos. But I hope him and his caddy, Colin Morikawa, and his caddy, JJ, are very close because he's got to rib him. If Colin Morikawa hits it into the water on one of the 2 to 4 rounds that he plays this week, he's got to give him a whole lot of crap.
Yeah.
No, see what you got to do. You got to grip, stronger grip, make sure you rotate.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to hold the platter.
Like this.
Exactly.
And it hits another hole-in-one, too. That'll be great. That should be some fun to watch.
Next stop.
Going to Denver, Colorado, or Oklahoma City, because I forget where this game was played. But in the last rendition of that Nuggets versus Thunder blossoming rivalry of the two of the top teams in the West, not named the Lakers, Nikola Jokic, he wasn't actually 100%. Hear it from Brian Windhorst about what Jokic responded when Mike Malone, his head coach, said, maybe we'll sit you down tonight. We don't need you.
Michael Malone kind of wanted Jokic to sit out of this game because he'd hurt his elbow on Sunday, and Jokic said, hell no. And
that's a quote, by the way.
Yeah, that's a terrific display from them. And
so my thing with this, it proves to me two things. Number one, Jokic will try and play coy and act as if he doesn't care that much about basketball and all that. That dude cares a hell of a lot. He also, these individual awards, they matter to him. He wants that MVP. He wants to finish the season averaging a triple-double, and he should. But more importantly, because that's the, pessimistic, negative, cynical way to look at it, I like to be more of a hopeful guy, a glass half full. Jokic, being as dominant and great as he is and also readily available and not one of those guys that sits games out, even against the own advice of his head coach, is a huge win for basketball. We criticize him all the time because the Joker doesn't lean in to be a big personality or to do a lot of appearances or commercials, and he'll never want to be the face of the league.
People criticize his love of the game.
Yeah, they do. But it's not the love of the game. It's more so the attention he doesn't care about. He loves the accolades. He loves winning. He absolutely loves playing basketball. He just doesn't care about the attention that comes with it. I think that this is good for basketball when stars like him are banged up playing through it and doing it as well as he has. And if you look at all of his years of playing, he plays a lot. 75 games, 80 games, 73, 72, 74. The lowest mark is 69, and that was in 2022 when he had a little bit of hobbledness, but that was obviously, it turned out to be a good year for the Nuggets.
Wow. I didn't know he was a workhorse like that.
He really, look, Jokic, as big as he is, and it looks like he might be out of shape, that dude, he gets out there and plays with the best of them. So you got to appreciate that.
Next stop.
Next up on the Get Around brings us to Santa Clara, California, because that's where I think the 49ers play, right?
Yeah.
San Francisco?
Yeah, Santa Clara.
Well, Mac Jones is now a San Francisco 49er. He signed a 2-year, $7 million deal. Of course, Mac Jones, former Patriot. Most recent stop was a Jacksonville Jaguar, where I said this might be his career rejuvenation. He had a fire lit under him. He scored a touchdown his first drive when he took over for an injured Trevor Lawrence. Turns out that wasn't the truth. But now, Mac Jones going to the 49ers.
You know, this reminds me of when back in college, a lot of us actually went to a certain barber that was kind of off campus, harder to get to. He wasn't even that good of a barber, but he was accessible, had a shop, worked out. And then one of my homies actually pulled up one day, had one of the meanest, freshest cuts. We're like, yo, where'd you get that, dog? You're looking, that's cold. That's a good tape fade. Like, he actually faded that thing out right. This is, I can see the artistry behind that haircut. And we're like, he told us my boy Hal actually, who cut some hair on campus. And then there was a major shift. Everybody started going to Hal because they was like, yo, I saw what you did for Trevor, and I want that same treatment. I want to be as cleaned up and sharp as that dude. Mac Jones looked at Kyle Shanahan and said, whoa, Sam Darnold, you done revived that dude's career. Now he's signing, deals with $60 million guaranteed. You look at Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Like, look at what he was able to do with Brock, whereas that's more of a situation thing. I don't think Brock Purdy, you get that much out of him if you throw him on any of the other 31 teams. There's very few coaches that get out of Brock Purdy what Shanahan has been able to do. Mac Jones is hoping to just soak up a little bit of that juice. Just put me in that aura, and hopefully he can come away with something. But I got news for you, Mac. It ain't happening, baby. You don't have the facilities for that, brother.
I don't know, man. I think.
Oh, don't
seriously,
do it. See,
we were asking the question.
Cut the music. Just no. I want you to say this. No, you get no instrumental for this.
We were asking the question 2 years ago when Brock Purdy was doing his thing with the 49ers and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. That, wait a second, come on, let's cut the crap. Sam Darnold could probably do the same, if not better, with the 49ers.
Yeah.
And it turns out we never got concrete proof of this because it didn't happen in a 49ers uniform, but we were kind of right because Sam Darnold left the Niners and did a great job with the Vikings, of course. Like you said, earned that $60 million guaranteed. Who's to say Mac Jones isn't also one of those guys?
We are to say that. I have seen enough of Mac Jones to say maybe he was elevated by being the quarterback of Alabama. Maybe life is really easy when